Welcome guys, today is our 20th day taking care of our 600 birds and I am so ecstatic. When I walked into the farm today, I realized these guys are doing very well and it gives me this joy that whatever thing I'm doing, there's a headway. So I'm so happy because today is going to be something different because I bring to you today some knowledge that will be beneficial to you and others out there that are watching this video. For those of you who are watching this video, I appreciate your return. You know you're a returning subscriber. Thank you so much for coming back to watch my video. I am so happy. I'm so happy. And if you're new to this channel, please do hit that subscribe button with notification turned on so you get informed each time I post uploads on how to take care of your poultry farm and also how to make money and become successful in the poultry farming business. So guys, when I came in, these guys were all happy and I noticed several things in the farm. They've all increased their food intake because they are growing rapidly. And when they're growing rapidly, what you expect from them is more food, more water to drink, more space, and more ventilation. That is it. So guys, remember the first thing to do once you come into the farm, you need to move around and check for mortality and casualty. But first, if you look closely, you find out that these guys aren't doing bad. I'm gonna move around to see if we have any mortality. So I'm moving around to see if we have any mortality. You can see they're all grown up. So guys, I've noticed we don't have any mortality and I don't think we have any casualty around, and these guys are doing very well. They're doing just great and I'm so impressed. These guys are doing great. Imagine this boy. Ooh, damn, easy. These guys are doing great. Okay, when I came in, I realized they've increased their water intake. As you can see beside me, I have the drinkers already removed. When I came in, we didn't have any water in here. That is to say, they've really increased their water intake. And if you look closely, the feed these guys are feeding on right now, I had to put a bit of feed because they were a little bit wild. Yes, they were like, wow, come on, I want to eat and all that. So I had to put some feed. I had to put some food in their feeder for them to eat a bit. So they really increased the way they are eating, and I'm impressed. Now, they are still heading to their week 3, and on Friday is going to make them complete 3 weeks, and they're like this. So I have some observation and some few things I would love to discuss with you guys. One of them is expanding the brooder. I actually expanded the brooder yesterday, you guys absent. I did that because I observed that they didn't have much space, and I really needed to do it because if I didn't, maybe I would have lost a bed or two today. So I needed to expand the brooder, which I did. Now, why I'm saying these guys are fully due for expansion is, like you see, we are still using the brooder, and they've outgrown this brooder, and they should be moving to the hall, the main hall. So anything you're doing, once they get to this stage, the next thing you need to start thinking of is expansion. Expansion as in moving them from this place to whatever permanent place you know you want them to stay and grow finally. Come on, I wasn't talking to you. Okay, for them to stay and grow finally. So expansion is one of the things you need to put into consideration, because if you do not think of that, you might end up having one or two challenges like deaths, overheat, and all that. So you need to expand them, get them off the brooder, because as you see, most of these polythene bags, this nylon, will be taken out very soon because they started growing feathers, and I know they can start now to control their own. They can start now to control whatever hits. What's your problem? I know they can start now to fend for themselves. Yes, let me put it that way. So Friday is going to make them complete 3 weeks, and week 3 is always a challenging week. You need to be prepared for them because they might be prone to so many viral diseases and bacterials. Especially when I came in, there was no food in their feeder. They may start picking one or two things from the ground due to hunger and all that. Especially when you don't come in to look into their affair in time, they must start picking one or two things. So week 3 is a very challenging week for the birds. So you need to always pay close attention to them and make sure you are always available for them to cater for their needs. So like I said, they've increased their food and water intake, and once they've increased their food and water intake, what you should be expecting to is much of their excretion. Yes, much of their poo, because the more they eat, the more they drink, the more they excrete. So this is where you need to make sure that their beddings are always dried up by spreading more sawdust, ensuring they have the space they require, and possibly removing the litter when necessary, because the moment they eat and drink often, you also expect them to excrete often. And excreting often, you expect the ground to be wet because they are excreting from time to time. So try as much as possible to make sure you have their beddings in place by spreading the sawdust and making them have the comforts they truly deserve. And also, if possible, you get their litter out if you know it is due for removal. Okay? So guys, I'm going to take this out and prepare it for washing. Like I said, these guys are all grown up and I'm preparing them for transfer very soon to the main hall. Or possibly, if I want to use this space permanently, all I'm going to do is I'm going to get the nylons off. I'm going to get all these nylons off, get the barriers. Remember, we created this brooder. I'm going to get all these barriers out, get the nylons out, and then make this place a permanent place for them without transferring them. But if I'm going to transfer them, maybe to the next hall, all I need to do is start the preparation by making sure the hall is well kept and well prepared for them. And when you're doing the preparation, you need to be very careful when carrying them, because in most cases, you might step on the birds, yes. And once you step on any chick, you might end up breaking their bones. And anytime a chick has a fracture in his or her bones, it also affects the chick's growth, which is something you will not like to experience. Like one of these birds, if anything happens to one of their legs, maybe I mistakenly step on them, you find out that it will affect his growth, and the other ones might grow faster than it because he or she will be passing through a whole lot of pain. So you need to be very careful not to step on the legs, yes. Especially when you're going around to check for mortality, or especially when they come around, like you've seen now, they've all come around me. Maybe I want to stand up and I mistakenly step on them. No, it really affects the bird. You need to be careful so you don't injure them. We talk about expansion, we talk about week 3, which is a crucial week for them, which you need to pay close attention to them, because this week 3 they're about to enter is a week that they are mostly prone to viral diseases and bacterial diseases. You need to be very careful. Week 3 most especially is a very crucial week. Once you can overcome week 3, that means you're there. So we've also talked about their bedding. At this point, they eat much, they have more water and food intake, and what you expect in return is they are going to poo. The more poo you have on the ground, the more litter you have, and the more attention you should give to the ground, because you need to keep spreading sawdust and creating a comfortable bedding for them. Because if you don't do that, the ground especially will grow wet. You start having wet litters and all that. So you need to pay attention to the ground mostly, especially in the morning. Once you come, the ground is wet. With wet litter, you top some sawdust on it. And in the evening too, when you come, the ground is wet, you spread some sawdust on it. It's still going to give you profit, because at the end of everything, you end up having more manure or more litter, as you may call it, and you still make extra pay. Finally, guys, I think I don't want to make today's video so long, so I've gotten their drinkers out. I'm going to spread the sawdust that is making a good bedding for them. I'm going to make sure their bedding is in place, and also give them water to drink and something to eat. So guys, here's my sawdust. I'm going to go ahead and, make their bedding. Remember I told you about their bedding, which is spreading sawdust for them. That's what I call it, you understand? Making beddings for them. So I'm going to go ahead and spread this for them to make them comfortable, okay? So I'll do just that. So that is it, guys. You know, you're just watching. We are taking care of our 600 beds to make 500,000 naira in just 6 weeks. So you know you're watching. Please do well to hit that subscribe button with notification turned on so you get informed each time we have uploads like this. And you can also share for others to benefit from this tutorial, because there are so many people out there looking for this opportunity to know how to take care of their birds in the farm and how to become successful in their farm. So you can also do other share. Please share and drop a comment telling us what you feel about what you're doing, and also your opinion on how you can also take care of the bird once they're 3 weeks. So I'm done with their bedding. I've spread the sawdust, and I feel they have that comfort they truly deserve. So the next thing I'm going to do right now is bring in their food, give them water, and voila. Okay guys, I think I've given them their food, but I have a piece of advice for you. In as much as poultry farming is a very nice business for anyone to come into, but I will always advise you, please, before you go into the business, please make sure you know your budget. Make sure to find out deep about what it entails to come into the business, especially when it has to do with food, drugs, and other miscellaneous. Please be very careful. Do not jump into the business if you know you do not have the capital that will finance the number of birds you are bringing into the farm. Please. So guys, the business really needs precision. So if you know you don't have the money to do it, please do not think about it. If you know your money is going to be okay for 50 birds, please go for 50 birds. If you know your money will be sufficient for 100 birds, go for 100 birds. If you know what your money can afford is 200 birds, please go for 200 birds. And before coming in, make sure you know the number of bags 100 birds can eat till the point of sale. That is if you're selling it for 6 weeks. Find out the quantity of drugs they're going to consume, and find out every details you know you will need to start the number of birds you want to go into before you venture into it. Because there's nothing as bad as coming into the business and you cannot meet up till the end. It's very bad. So please be very careful before you come into the business. Be very careful and make sure that you are prepared before coming to the business. I'm not discouraging you, but I'm encouraging you to make your budget properly before coming into the business, right? As you can see, you have the water ready with medication. Remember, the 3rd week is always a crucial week. These guys are prone to viral diseases or bacterial, so you need to make sure you have to take every protective measures and medications that are necessary for them. So have the medication ready. I have their food already in place, so I'm going to give them water to drink, then call it a day. So guys, please, while walking, be careful so you don't march on them. I'm going to give them water to drink. They're already thirsty. Remember, they need sufficient water to drink. So I'm going to go ahead and give them. So guys, that is it for now. Remember, every day in the farm has its own experiences. You know, we talked about expansion, we talked about the 3rd week. If you know you love what you're doing, please don't forget to give us a thumbs up, subscribe if you know you haven't. Also help share this video to reach a wider audience. And until next time, this is Sam Z, and I'll see you in my next one.